choice is yours.
Are we live now?
Take on the criminal masterminds.
Yeah, you guys are live.
Alrighty, well, welcome everyone to LEGO Batman, the video game. This is going to be a lockout bingo race between WaylonWilt and myself. My name is Prnced. Waylon and I each have a lot of experience with this game, and that'll really help us in this bingo, because what bingo is, or specifically a lockout bingo is, you have to get more goals than your opponent. And so since our cards have 25 slots in them, we are looking to get 13. So the first to 13 will win. You don't necessarily have to get a bingo, and it's not going to help you unless those particular goals are quick ones to grab. So without further ado, Waylon and I have agreed to a 5-minute period of looking at the bingo card and studying it before we actually start running. So Waylon, if you are ready to click on reveal, I'll give a countdown for that, and that's when you can start the 5-minute countdown. You ready, Waylon?
Yeah, I'm ready.
Alright. In 3, 2, 1, go. Alright, so we're going to be looking for some fast ones to do. So if you can figure out what those are. I'm going to do my best not to say what they are so Waylon doesn't hear what they are. Even though he'll probably find them faster than I will. We're also trying to look for things that are of the same chapter or same episodes. That means we would have to do fewer levels and chapters. So Loss, if you want to talk for a bit so I can study.
So yeah, there are like, in general, there are 3 episodes per story. You have the hero story, and you have the villain story, and each episode have 5 different like levels, and you're playing against one villain in each episode for the hero stories. And what Prince meant with you're looking for different objectives you can do in one chapter means if you have no task in one chapter and another task in another chapter, you want to do those because you're already in one chapter, so you want to finish them. And also you have like 2 different play modes. You have like the free play, where you can use all the characters that you unlock, and you have the story mode, where you only can use Batman and Robin for the hero story, and some other for the villains. It's always 2 villains for the villain story. And some of those objectives you can't do with only Batman or Robin, so you have to do other levels first to unlock certain characters that you can finish other tasks on the spot. So what I'm going to do is to look which objectives are easy to do in story mode, because for free play they have to come back and redo the whole level or get everything for this objective. So every level you can do, or every objective you can do in story mode, is really big, because you have to do a good amount of the levels to unlock certain characters, and so you can like get 2 flies at once.
Take on the criminal masterminds.
Also, there are like, some of them are obviously quicker. You have the hostages. There are only 1 hostage per game, per level, but you have 10 mini kits per level. So you want to do, or a hostage is most of the time faster than a mini kit or all mini kits to collect, stuff like that. You have to really be on your mind and see quickly which one is worth going for it and which one takes too long. And other objectives give you like an upgrade. See, purchase 2 suit upgrades. Obviously, they upgrade your suit. Also, the red bricks. Some of them give you an upgrade like fast build, so this is also really beneficial. If you see something that gives you an advantage, you want to go for that. You can assume that if one player gets a brick that makes them invincible or gives them fast build, but the other player can't get that brick because it's a lockout, they have an advantage over the other person.
It's good to be bad.
Just letting you guys know you have 15 seconds left to look at the board and get ready to start.
Okay, if you could give us a countdown to that, that'd be great.
Alright, ready? 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go.
So both players have to start in the first level, 1-1, and after that the route reverses, I assume. So they have to finish this level first, so they can choose which chapter they're going to play. They can't just go for the level 3-5. They have to play 3-1, 2, 3, and 4, and then they can play 3-5 first. So, but you only have to play level 1-1, so after this level, I assume we see a route change. But at the beginning it's really standard. Grab the bomb suit and blow up the truck. See, Waylon goes straight to the end. But Prince got the hostage, didn't see if Waylon got the hostage. But Prince plays level like in any percent run, while Waylon plays level like in an any percent run, while Prince goes a little bit out of his way to collect some stats. And throughout the run we see that Robin and Batman can collect different suits. So right now Batman has the demolition suit that lets him place bombs, which he can detonate to blow up the shiny walls and the metal. While at the moment Robin has the tech suit where he can control vehicles. And to the boss fight, you hit Clayface 2 times, then he runs away. And what Waylon does right now is he's jumping off the ledge to lose stats, because of the first level the game shows you all your stats that you've collected. So you lose time the more stats you have. And yeah, this boss fight's pretty simple. Hit him a couple times so he goes inside treasure, and there just spawn everything else. And you can see Princess now, you can bank on Batman, he collected the 20k stats, while when decided he won't collect any stats, so he can move on to the next level faster. Also Prince picked up fast gravel. It's really at the end, so you don't have to go out of your way that much to get it. For other red bricks you have to go really out of your way to get it, and some of them aren't even possible to get in story mode, so you have to go back for free play. And now we can see the first time the 1P2C, so one person, two controllers. The way I just did, you're allowed to run this game with two controllers, but obviously only one person can run it. So sometimes you can skip some stuff, like I think we see it pretty soon on Waylon's side. So he flies over the skip with an extended flight, so normally you should just, at the game, as soon as you press jump and hold it, and then you start gliding. But if you repeat it in a certain rhythm, you can extend your glide like by a lot. And here we see a drop inboard, but he missed it. So you can, if you go to the other side and drop in your second player, he spawns next to you, which allows you to skip a puzzle. You see Prince going for the same thing. Here is another skip on Waylon's side, and he missed it. 10 ways to build the bridge, but with precise jump kicks, double jumps work as well, I think. You can skip those huge gaps, and you don't have to build some stuff, and don't have to turn or activate handles, etc. Also here, jump kick to get over the skip. Prince has some trouble with the extended glide. This one is really hard. I struggle a lot myself with it, but he got it, nice. And a drop in walk from Prince side as well. And he got to skip first try, nice. Waylon is at the boss fight now. What's important for the bosses in this game is you hit him and they have a certain amount of iframes, so invincibility frames, and you have like a rhythm, you want to attack them, and you don't want the AI, your second control, to attack them, because they can keep the boss in his iframes. So they just spam the attack and you can't damage him. So you try to get the second player out of the way. Is it with just dropping in the second player and standing far away from the boss, or a precise maneuver and switching back and forth between the characters? But you want to hit him with the character you're playing with. Also, Mr. Freeze has a cannon, as you can see, which freezes you, and you lose quite a bit of time if you get frozen. So you want to avoid this as much as you can. And you see Prince dropped in the second player, so he doesn't have to deal with the AI. And also he can start building the second controller. So it's small time save. Also he activates the cannon while he's running across with Robin, and he does this all with two controllers. It's really impressive, and he does it with his mouth. So if you have never seen him doing 1P2C, you should really check it out. It's really impressive. Waylon, you see that he pushes both cards with both controllers. So normally you activate one switch and then the ice block stops, and then you push the other and he moves to the center of the ice block. But if you can push both cards at the same time on the switch, you can skip a cutscene and it moves directly to the end, or in the middle where it drops. and Mr. Priest comes down. Really clean level on Waylon's side. Prince struggling a little bit with the 1P2C, but now he can just build with Robin and he doesn't have to deal with the enemies because we can see now this was the cutscene skip Waylon did, but now Prince can just attack the enemy Batman and Robin can push the blow at the card without any interruption of the enemy. Next level is the first vehicle level. There are 3 vehicle levels in the hero story and 2 in the villain story. So right now Waylon has to destroy those trucks and they move always the same way, so it's not really memorization, it's really easy. One goes up, one goes down, one goes right. And you want to shoot them and pick them up and drive them into the bat signal so the helicopter can destroy or take them away. So far pretty standard, both sides are thinking no goals in this level, so they want to just do it as fast like in an any percent run. They don't go out of their way to collect some mini kits. Wearing this last drop. The next room for Waylon is the last room where he has a boss fight with Two-Face and he drove right through the trucks there. If you time it right, you can drive into the cutscene and through those trucks. So the boss fight with Two-Face is the same as the trucks, more or less, unless he can move away, but you want to lock him right at the end where the bat signal is by shooting him. As soon as he gets hit from the bomb, you can drive away very fast, very far away. You can just pick him up and pull him into life. When going for some stats here, Prince going for some stats. And when is now on the 4th level, first chapter. Again, I assume he goes for the fast trap because the goal is on the bingo page. He can't do it right now, so he just wants to finish it so he can go back to this level in free play. I think I mentioned it, if you want to go back to a level you have to complete it first in story mode. Afterwards you can go back in free play. And Prince just finished his first vehicle level as well. Collected some stats. And you can go right through the wall there, just through the glass with the Sonic suit. And Waylon went for the hostage there. It's not really out of the way. And as you can see, there is a goal, it says 3 hostages, so whoever gets the first 3 hostages got this goal. And you can see on Prince's side, it's really strange driving up those walls, but it's faster than going all the way around, so you have to have the right angle And we see on Waylon on Batman he has the sonic suit, so he can destroy the glass, and on Robin has the suction suit where he can pull in those red, green, and yellow bricks, and he goes for 27 bricks, I think. He only needs 25, but those 2 extra bricks allows him to do a little skip. And Prince as well going for the hostage there. And there's a neat little skip. You can jump on the edge of the pool there and avoid swimming. And with the precise jump kick you can get across this room or across this object without the heat suit that the game thinks you have by now. Prince is building his suction suit for Robin and going for the red, yellow and green bricks. While you're sucking in those bricks, you have iframes. It's the same with the Batarang. If you keep holding it out, you can't be hit. So that's a little technique they're going to use. And you only have to get the middle flower there. You can jump all over to the other side with only 1 flower. So you don't need to get the other 2. And now we're in the boss room, boss fight against Poisonous Ivy for Waylon, while Prince is going into the 3rd room, performing the same skip. Nice. But Prince will collect the heat suit here. And as far as I know, that's the only place where you can collect the heat suit.
That's correct.
So Waylon doesn't have the heat suit for... If he goes back and gets it, he will have it. But at the moment, Prince has the heat suit, and he can use, if he decides to do free play, he can use the heat suit. And Prince is getting through this room also quick. And he collects a mini kit here. Waylon has finished. It's 4th level now. And is in the last level of this chapter. So next up for Prince is the boss fight against Poisonous Ivy. You have to build the bombs and destroy those piranha plants, and Poisonous Ivy comes out, you have to hit her 2 or 3 times, and then she jumps back into another piranha plant, and enemies will spawn and you have to kill a certain amount of enemies until the piranha suit drops another bomb you can destroy.
Sorry to interrupt, but I have a question for Prince. You guys are responsible for checking your own boxes, right?
Correct.
Okay, just to make sure. Sorry.
So on Waylon's side we see a skip coming up. He extends the flight over to the other side and activates the bridge. And with Robin he drives around. And this door will activate, this gate will open. And I think he goes for it. He takes a small vehicle, a smaller car, where he can drive a little bit out of bounds. With the big car, big truck, you can't do this, but you can drive up the stone there and activate the switch, the handle there, which makes a ladder where Batman can climb up, and this skips to collect the magnet soup for Robin. And we see Prince changed or has a different route than Waylon. He's going for 2-1 now. And he decided not to go or not to finish the first chapter. And Prince is seeing skip, so it's the first time we see a wall jump. So Batman can wall jump, and he can skip like the whole room by jumping up there. And every time you go through transition, and Waylon decided to go for the hostage there, if I saw it correctly. And every time you go through a transition with only one character, the other one will always follow. Some nice extended plats from both players. You can see how much distance they get by doing this trick. So Prince triggered the cutscene, but he died at the same time, and he skips another part of the level by flying around or flying over everything, and so you don't have to use Robin in this. Here you wanna when has to stand on those panels at the floor to activate the door at the end. It's pretty simple, they're always the same, and you don't want to get hit with the laser at the bottom. And Prince will go for a one player to switch, to activate both switch with one player. Got it first try, nice. So those switches are only active for a short amount of time, and you have to be rather quick. At Prince's side, the enemies will always spawn at the same location, so you know where they're going to be, and you can hit them right away, so they fall into the void. Better missed one cycle there. So you can kill Catwoman without her spawning in any enemies besides the one at the beginning, where she's on the lowest floor. And we see on Waylon's side, he decides to drop in his second player, and he stands away from the enemies. So, like I mentioned earlier, so he can just hit Riddler with Robin. So Batman won't put him in his iframes. And now Prince will finish the first chapter. And ideally you want to drop out with the second player before the level finishes, so if you start a new level, you have to, if you don't drop out, it will still be dropped in, and mostly at the end you don't have to do anything, while at some levels you have to do something at the start right away, so it's beneficial to have only one player active. And Waylon decided to go for the villain story. Now, the villain story, you barely have to suit the two same characters twice. I think there are 6 levels in total where you have like same 2 characters. There's per chapter 1 level where you play 2 times the same 2 characters. But one character is always active. For the Riddler's Revenge, it's obviously Riddler. For this, for the 5th chapter, it's Penguin, and for the last chapter, it's Joker. So here he dropped in the second player to skip the puzzle at the beginning, and Prince went for the hostage as well. And Waylon wants to hit the hostage through the wall or through the window. See if he gets it. And decided to skip it, and here is a really easy path. You can just walk into the wall there, the corner, and clip out of bounds. And followed by another really precise out of bounds. Nice. Missed the transition point at the end of the level. Let's see. And he spawned in at the wrong part of the level, so depending how you hit the transition point, you can spawn in right where you left. And Prince at the boss fight, so same for him, you won't touch the panels, and they're the same every time. Try to avoid the lasers. I think one death is roughly 3 seconds time loss. Oh, and Waylon spawned in again at the room where you performed the trick. This trick is really hard. Because you have to follow the transition point, but if you are too far away, you don't have any ground there, so you just fall to your death. And if you're too close, you end up at the wrong room. Prince will build the reflectors here, so you can shoot the shots from Riddler back. And you see, there's always like a little turnaround that's to get into a rhythm. And when got a skip, and this building with 2 player 1 controller, you can build faster here, because there are 2 different objects you have to build. If you're building on 1 object, most of the time you can't build 2 players. And Prince doing some 1P2C here. And when we finish this level, Prince finished his first chapter as well.
I forgot to mark that one.
Yeah. And on Waylon's side, there is you can clip through the handles. I think I'm the only person gets it sometimes. but it's possible, but we still don't know how to get it or how to do it. And next you have to freeze the platform here. You can skip this as well, but it's precise jump, you lose time, you fall into the lava, and sometimes you just want to play it safe. And when we do a rather precise jump, he gets there a double jump, which is normally not possible with Mr. Freeze, but because of your collision there, he can get it, and this allows him to skip Riddler in this room. Prince is on his second vehicle level. Now he has a boat, and Waylon going for the boat jump. A really precise trick. It saves a minute, approximately, between half a minute and a minute, if you get it. And it looks really cool, almost, but it's also really hard. And he gets it with Riddler. And on the inside, the vehicle levels, they exist, you have to play them. They are, at least in my opinion, they aren't really interesting. You can't really do any other bounce or skips in here. Waylon's still trying to get this jump. So how this jump works is you have like an invisible wall collision where you have to jump around, and you have to jump at the last possible pixel and turn around at the exact moment, and then you can barely make it. Almost. And Prince has to activate a couple of switches here. So the gate opens, and he can continue slowly. And the boss fight, you have to hit him with bombs a couple of times. And you don't want what happens right here, that Robin comes in his way, or any of the enemies, because they will trigger the bomb and it won't hit Penguin submarine. And you ultimately go around in circles, because you have to hit both sides and also the front and the back of the submarine. And it's really hard to control where these bombs go, because it's like a slingshot, you just pull them behind you, and you can control it a little bit, and they have and when we got it, and they have also auto aim, so sometimes it works really nice, and other times, at least for me, they decide, nah, I won't hit them. And there is no collision above this door, so Wayne was able to just jump over it and get into the collision and into the transition. Prince is going for a skip here. You can, on the trash, you can jump to the ladder and collect the bomb suit there. And Prince will go for another hostage. Makes 5 for him. another skip here. You can slide up this wall, and also you only have to jump on this 4 times, or 5 times to lower the water. If you jump once more, you trigger a cutscene, so you want to avoid that. When collecting the blue stuff there, so every time he re-enters this room after level, there's a blue stuff there. And you will go for ice rank, so you pass an extra there. And back to the hero levels for Waylon. And Prince goes back, collects the bomb suit again, so he can detonate the platform, so he can go to the transition, but he starts to go back to get the light suit to break the next room. And we see Waylon goes for his first free play level, and Prince decides to go for a really precise trick. Can fly all the way over. If you get it first try, it's cool and saves a good amount of time, but you don't want to try it more than once. And we see that free play allows for a lot of really interesting tricks, because you can just switch a character, so you have double jump character, and you can just avoid a whole lot of puzzle solving. And Prince did another extended glide to get all the way over. Now he's at the boss fight against Killcroc. And also, if you play free play and you decide to drop in your second player, he will always spawn like right next to you. And Prince playing around with Killcroc there. And here we see that Mr. Freeze can actually walk on the poison stuff, toxic stuff at the ground. Missed the extended glide there. There are a handful of characters that can walk on the green stuff, toxic waste. And he decides to go for another strategy. And Prince is now at the soup, where he can make a double jump onto the platform and over the fence to build the truck. And this allows him to get to the next room really quickly. While Waylon is going for the red brick, and now it's the red brick, and exiting the level right away because he doesn't have anything else to do in this level. They don't want to waste his time fighting the boss or anything. And Prince going for turtle skip. So if you build something and right as it's built you walk into it, you can clip out of bounds, and this allows him to get into the house without the tech suit of Robin, and saves around a minute because you have to build a turtle and walk around with it, and it's really slow. And when decided to go for the third chapter, shortest chapter. Collecting the glide suit. I'm all over the gas there. Avoiding getting damaged. And we see he jumps off the roof and glides around the invisible collision into another room. So this room is always loaded. Prince meanwhile collected the detonation suit, bomb suit, and on his way back. He won't fight the boss right away. And Waylon, you have a couple of like 1 or 2 seconds where you can stand on the toxic waste without getting damaged all the time, so you can start building, and then as soon as it gets damaged, he stops building, because if you keep building and take damage, the progress of your build will go away, and you even lose some bricks that you all have already built. And Prince collected the red brick this level. And here's another red precise trick, because if you take too long on wins, you die and can't activate both handles. When going for another skip. Basically the same as with Mr. Prnced and Riddler, trying to jump around an invisible wall, and he gets it. That's second try. Then he's going for another 2P1C, 1P2C. Yeah, 1P2C. And he drops a bomb there, so the enemies will immediately die. He doesn't have to deal, or doesn't have to deal as much with the enemy. And when skipping a huge part of this level, but just flying over stuff, also here with a precise extended glide. With nice extended flight, you can fly all the way up here, so you don't need Robin in this room. It's actually possible to finish this whole level either only with Robin or only with Batman. Prince is trying to get up there to get the glide suit, so he can glide over here and making it a really short level. And Waylon is doing a skip in the boss room, so you can push Mad Hatter down to the toxic waste, so you don't have to activate one platform or one switch on the other side. But it can only be done once, so you can't just get up there and do it now a second time. So you need Robin to activate the switch. Prince going for the second extended line over to the end, where I think it's his last hostage. Yeah, he already had
That was
it.
my 7th, yeah.
Yeah. So got one extra there, but not out of the way, so won't lose much time to getting it. Prince has to turn the wheel in the middle so the penguin bombs walk into the generators so they get destroyed, and he has penguin think drops 2 or 3 of them, so you can miss 1 if I remember correctly, and if you miss 2 you have to wait another cycle, so really want to get those, because also penguins, they walk slowly and you have to destroy the 4 generators. And Waylon is doing another skip here. It's a really hard skip. So this one is easy, you can get up there really quick with just wall jumping. But now you can wall jump out of bounds, so there's an invisible wall with collision. You can just walk up, and he's going for a candy cane jump. So there's the candy cane, and you want to double jump on it or jump kick, and sometimes it works even with just a regular jump. But you have, if you do it correctly, you can slide all the way to the upper floor. And skipping, I think 2 suits. Normally you have to have the sonic suit and also the suction suit. So it's a pretty big time save. And Prince finished 2nd chapter. Nice, and Waylon gets it 2nd try. And Prince is going to purchase 2 suit upgrades, and he also decided to go for the villain story now, or the villain mission, and also taking the purple stuff there, and he goes to Penguin's level. Penguin in general is a really good character to have because he has an extended glide and he has bone suits. So it's a good choice to go for him for free play, I assume. And also in the villain story we can see that there are certain characters called strength characters, and those can pull everything with an orange hand. And gets another hostage there. You can shoot through the wall, penguins, umbrella. And here we see another extended glide. And also the roof has only collision on the upper part, so you can clip through the lower part there. And Waylon is still at the boss fight. It's a rather simple boss fight. You want to hit Harlequin and it jumps away a couple times. And you don't want to get hit by her, that resets her cycle. So Waylon finished his second level of Riddler story, and next level will be next vehicle level. Decides to go for it. Goes for it. And Prince is going to finish his level pretty soon as well. And Prince level will be finished right after he stopped building the radio antenna, I think it's called. And there's a couple seconds where you can still wait, but he's finished this level. Will got a cutscene skip if I saw that correctly. So if you fly precisely, you can skip a cycle of Scarecrow destroying things and blocking your way. And Prince goes back. He now has unlocked Mr. The Penguin. And he's still stopped short for Wayne. And Waylon finished his flight level and continues the story. Print going for some extra stats. I think the first instance where we saw those gates where you have to be a certain character and certain stuff is locked behind one of the gates. So for certain mini-kits or red bricks you have to have a certain character to even get access to the room. And Prince getting the bomb suit there. Gets into the transition for the truck. And we see a skip on Prince's side. He flies over the gate there or the fence and double jumps around the gate with Catwoman, so he doesn't have to fight the Joker. And Prince finished his room. The next room is this room. There's an interesting skip there. We don't know how it works exactly, but sometimes the collision is just away and you can just, after building area, you can just walk to the next room and you don't have to watch a cutscene. and Prince is on the push there. It's possible to only push it with one character. It's really hard. And he's going for a brand new skip, found like a week ago by myself. It's possible to fly with a real precise extended fly up to the balcony, and skipping the rest of the room saves 30 seconds to 1 minute, and it also avoids the cutscene. And Waylon is at the disco. Let's see. And you don't have to control the robot there. You can just walk through the collision there and it will break, or through the bricks and it will break. And you're not out of bounds. Jumping up at the buildings, you can get over the fire there. And Prince finished 5-2. And next is another vehicle level for Prince. It's this time with Killer Croc and with Penguin Submarine. And Killer Croc's squad can, or both, can go through toxic waste, while Submarine obviously can go underwater. Destroying the turrets opens the gate, and when is building the generators, the motors, so to light up the light bulb, so Killer Moth gets distracted and you can start hitting it. And nice, on Prince's side, he destroys the barrel of toxic waste, so the toxic waste vanishes, and he times correctly so he can drive into the next switch to activate it. If you're too early, you will die and also lose your bombs. Whale has finished 5-4, 3-4. And it's now the last level of Riddler's story, of Joker's story, while Prince is at the vehicle level, and with precise movement and jumps you can get up there on Waylon's side, start building some stuff, and activate the mini-boss against Harlequin early. Really nice level so far from Prince. It's really easy to die there, and it's extremely punishing because you lose all your bombs and you have to go back to get them, to really try to avoid dying there. There are certain spots where it's not that bad if you die, don't lose much time, but depending on where you are in this level, inside you lose a good amount of time. And he has to shoot the front side, left side, and the right side, and each side 2 times. And he also got super villain here. And after that, the light will spawn, and if you drive it, aiming missile starts aiming at you, but if you're close to the boat, it destroys the boat, and that's how you finish this boss. And Waylon will go for another out of bounds skip here. By double jumping at this wall, you can clip out of bounds and jump into transition and start the boss fight. And Wayland did also a really new strat discovered by himself. You can jump up to the switch where both characters have to stand on. If you double jump correctly at the statue, you get pushed onto the upper floor there. And you receive a drop in on Prince's part to get Riddler up to the truck. And Wayland going for 2P1C, 1P2C, I hate this. And to build both water cannon things at once. And again on Prince's side we see the out of bounds, really easy to perform. And the hard skip. So another thing is, if you get a double jump, you can't wall jump. You can only wall jump on your first jump. And Prince gets it first try, so they correctly. And here it turns out you don't have to get Riddler also on top. If you're standing close to the light, you can control the other person with Riddler down, skipping build, a rope and a ladder. And Wayland finished his Joker chapter. And Prince finished the first chapter of 3-1, the first level. The fourth chapter, sorry. And we see that Wayland goes back to the hero missions, while Prince is going to redo the first level of the fourth mission, but this time in free play, I assume. Wayland going for stats that are distributed everywhere around the hub. And he also got a new goal. Now both in the villain stories. And Prince already has like 4 mini-kits, while Wayland is going for 6-1. Prize for the commissioner. First room here, you have to do minigame between switching with characters. One person is building something that allows the other to progress in level, and it goes back and forth. Also, we can see in free play you can just detonate this wall. And also if you have a strength character that pulls something and you switch immediately characters, you skip the animation of him tearing it out and throwing it away. And this makes 7+ minikits for Prince. And we see here another thing Joker can do as only person. There are those generators he can power up with his special handshake, and there's if he does so, certain things start moving, and he's the only character in the game that can interact with those machines. Prince back at the Euro mission, and this time in free play. There is a way to skip the boss on Wayland side. You can fly all over the level and land right at the transition point. Sadly, we haven't found a way to do this in story. This fight is one of the few actual boss fights in the Wayland story. Most of the level endings are determined by building something or getting something in Wayland story. But this is an actual boss fight you have to do, so you hit the commissioner a couple of times, so he goes up on the balcony and the trucks spawn in, and you have to detonate them with the teddy bears. And you can see on Prince the death zone of those ice spray things are really huge. So even if you think you're safe, sometimes they get you. It makes this skip a lot easier if you have a double jump character. Waylon is on the flight level with Joker this time. Straightforward, you grab bombs or missiles and destroy the thing at the end. So this time he has to get Scarecrow's bomb, missiles, and shoot the turret. And the turret gets confused and destroys the gate for you, so you can progress in levels. And Prince going back to the same time replay story. Soon for yeah. Like I said, there are a couple levels where you can complete only one character. Nice Receptionist one. Then there is the 3-1, can't think of the name right now. there you can complete this level with either Robin or Batman. Nice reception you can't complete with Batman only, because the magnet walls where you have to walk on, they are slippery and only Robin in the magnet suit can stand on. Even if you land perfectly on the flat ground, you can't activate any switches or handle. And for the boss fight on the Wayland side, you have to destroy the thing right next to the turret with a bomb, and then with the missiles you have to destroy the turret, and the turret starts shooting the chopper in the middle, and you can attack him. And luckily Wayland didn't soft lock there. And Prince going for the same skip as earlier. And gets the first try. Because he can't switch to Batman and jump kick, double jump over, Prince has to turn the turn thing there. Oh, Batman will fall, and now fell, and he will activate the upper part. So Robin can walk up as well. And also because Prince wasn't able to or can't control Batman, he never collected the glide suits, so you have to get like every platform so the AI can follow, because the AI won't jump kick across the gaps as we do. And when is doing the jump on the statue there, and those are really finicky to jump on. They're slippery all over the place, and gets first stripe Scarecrow, nice. And if you jump the wrong way, you think you landed, but you slip off and you have to redo it. Also strong betweens there. Collecting some stats. And on Wayland's side we saw what slippery really means. Standing on it, you can't jump, you can't attack, and you can't control it correctly really well. You can give a suggestion where he has to go. Also interesting on Prince's side, because he can play a drop in Batman to do 2-player, 1 controller, 1 controller to 1 player to controller builds, or getting the second player away from the boss. And you can't ult, you can't push both characters from both cards, both characters. You have to push them one by one. And Wayland's going for a nice little skip, I assume. only has to push this pillar a certain amount, and then he can slide on the edge there and drop onto the pillar. And normally you should get Scarecrow to the other side and get one character onto the pillar and push the pillar with the other character, and it's really slow. It also activates cutscene. Our enemies spawn in if both players are on this side of the floor, so it saves a good amount of time. It's only one hit away from Mr. Freeze. And like I said, you don't want to get frozen because you really lose a lot of time. And he gets it, nice. And he finished level only with Robin. And inside you can see why the Joker is a really good character. He has these two pistols, two weapons he can shoot at, and they shoot fast and they kill the enemies in one hit. So he can just walk to them and shoot them on his way and get them out of their way. And also skip on Waylon's side. If you grab the handrail and jump off right again, the game won't actually know that you're in the... So you can get through the toxic waste there with Scarecrow and avoid a puzzle that you normally have to do. So here you can see why Penguin is so good, because he can detonate his bombs. They detonate automatically if they go into contact, and it's not the case with Batman's bombs. And Wayne also got the Joker's masterpiece 40k stats, and is back on the hero levels. Going for the Joker's return, which he has already finished, and he decides. And here we saw an upward. Sometimes you can, if you collide with an object and switch characters, you get warped to the top, and that's what happened on Prnced side. Again, here he doesn't have to go back. He can just switch characters because he's in pre-play.
That should be it. Yeah, that should be time.
Yeah, and Prnced got 13 out of 25 different objectives. That's time.
Well, that was a lot of fun.
Last.
GG, Waylon.
Gee.
Thank you, Loss, so much for commentating.
No problem.
You did a very, very nice job.
Thank you.
Oh. Well, unfortunately, this was the last run of the night. Next run will be tomorrow.
It's tomorrow at 1 p.m. and it is Justin, who is our restreamer for today. I'd like everybody in the chat to thank him. This would not have been possible without him. He was jumping through many gymnastics as we encountered all of our problems since this was our first day. And so I'd just like to thank him so much, and I really hope that his run goes well. So tomorrow, 1 p.m., be there. Thank you all for coming out. I've had a great time.
Thank you guys so much. We will see you
Yeah, thank you for
tomorrow.
watching.